The Marcia Week Show. It's the Marcia Week Show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's the Marcia Week Show. It's the Marcia Week Show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's the Marcia Week Show. Talk truth, build roots, stories unfold. Motivate change, mobilize is the mode, that's the MR code. Hey, we growing, we know it.
Good evening, Barbados. Good evening, Caribbean. Good evening, the world. You are watching the Marcia Week Show, and we are coming to you live from Barbados. And this is the national flag of Barbados. And you just heard the national anthem of Barbados because we just love to play the national anthem. You know, we're patriotic people. We're people who believe in nation building. And here on the Marcia Week Show, we educate, we motivate, we mobilize, and we agitate. Emma, that's what we do right here on the Marcia Week Show. And tonight is no different, y'all. Tonight is no different. Hard questions again tonight. Hard questions. How many of you enjoyed last night's show, or you got any inspiration out of last night's show? Hard questions again tonight. Behind the system. We're going behind the systems, behind the smiles, and behind the power tonight. That's what we're doing. Straight talk tonight. Straight talk again tonight. Yes, we have our the on the radar segment, and we are going to look at the announcer. The announcer was in the newspaper today, and we're going to find out why he was in the newspaper today. The announcer is back. Let me tell you, get ready. All of them need to get ready because he is not joking. And we're seeing Barbadians are seeking jobs. Disney jobs. They want to go on the ship, the Disney ship. Why is that? Young people, Freedom of Information Act. Why don't we have it in Barbados when it's in most Caribbean islands? We need to take a look at those things. And of course, we are going to continue to talk about some of these groomers. We're going to talk about some of these groomers tonight. The groomers in media. Groomers in media. And we're going to talk about what happens when there is a scandal. You're in media and there's a scandal. What normally happens? And what do we think is going to happen in Barbados? Aha. Yes. If there's a scandal in media, we're not saying there is. If there's a scandal in media, what happens? Yeah. Then we are going to talk about fixers. Who are these people who come around and they want to help the elderly? I am very aware that on the show we have a lot of people who are seniors who watch the show. And that segment is going to be very, very important for you. If you're a senior, that segment of the show is going to be very important. The segment on the show about the fixers. Who are these fixers? People going around and they are, making people think that they're lawyers. They think that they're lawyers, but they're not lawyers. We're going to talk about that tonight. So if you want to, you need to stop right now to like and to share. This is a lot of information that is going to go out tonight because there are some people, not everybody, some people are preying on the elderly and on those who are not educated on certain matters. And so tonight, after doing my research and speaking to attorney Corey Beckles, who is going to be joining us, by the way, on Monday nights. And he's just going to be here, Ask the Lawyer. He's going to talk to us all about estate law. That is going to be every Monday evening at 7:30, at least for a little while. Corey Beckles is going to be here because there's so many questions about, estate management and wills and all of those kinds of things. So how many of you like that idea? And so get your questions ready for the lawyer, attorney Corey Beckles. That is what he does. And he specializes in estates and wills, etc. So I want you to get your questions ready for him as he comes every Monday. He will start next week, Monday. Okay. And of course, we have tonight Dr. Derek ALLEYNE. So passionate, so knowledgeable, so intelligent. And tonight he is going to be talking to us straight talk with hard questions about the transport board. He's going to uncover it all tonight. Uncover it all. Yeah. That's what he's going to be doing tonight. So it is a night of education. And of course, we're going to have that segment for you to call in. Okay. Yes. And, guys, we need everybody to like and share. Did you share yet? Tonight is going to be fantastic. Lots of education tonight. We're not into gossip on the show. We're not into gossip. We are into education, motivation, mobilization, and agitation. That's what we are into. Yes. Hi, Monica. Good night. Good night, Judy. Good night, Carol. Good night, Mavis. Good night. Good night, Tironi. Flojo Maloney. Have you been missing? It seems that way. Calendar. Hey, Dan. How are you doing? A pleasant good night to everyone, he says. Yes. Marcia Miller. How you doing, my Filipino friend? Yes. I'm a big girl. How are you? Lori Bob, Lucinda ALLEYNE, good evening. Marva Hunt, Beverly Perscott, Annette Brewster, Joyanne Roberts, Tyrone Blackman, Charmaine Taylor. Did I say that right? Charmaine Taylor, yeah. Janai, just tuned in. Hey, Janai, can you all share up the live, please? Sherry Johnson, Mildred Ben. Aye. Annette Brewster. Hey, Teroni. Esther Reed, how you doing, girl? Diana Husbands, Denise Thomas. Hey, Denise. How are you? I'm a big girl said it's an excellent idea to have the lawyer coming on and asking for you guys to ask all your questions, estates and wills, probates, all of those things. Hey, Cami, please give me a call, Cami. I need you to give me a call tomorrow. You know the number. Everybody in Barbados know that number. Yes. Judy, did I say Judy yet? Hey, Judy, you were early today again, Judy. Sonia Perch, Barbie Lover, Judith Ann Clark, Joy and Faith, Sylvan Greenwich, Mavis Lashley. Oh my goodness, welcome to everybody. I do spend the time and want to go through as many names as possible. Obviously, I will miss some people, but you know, we love you and we are very, very happy that you've joined us. Today, somebody called and they know what they told me. They said, my mother, who's an elderly person, senior, and she watches the show every single time it comes on. If she misses it, she's playing it in the daytime. And, you know, they meet and at Sunday lunch, they discuss the show at Sunday lunch. Isn't that amazing? And really, we are just, you know, just humbled that you would take the time out of your busy schedule to join us. And we're hoping that you're getting the education and the motivation, the mobilization and the agitation. And speaking of agitation, I have been getting some messages, one or two messages from some of you about St. Peter, that we need to do a love march in St. Peter, loving Barbados with the Barbados flags, Barbados colors in St. Peter concerning the beach, proper access to the beach in Barbados, and about the overdevelopment in Barbados. If that is you, and if you really are interested in that, send us a message. Again, you can message right here on the chat. We'll get an idea if you're interested in that. And or you can just WhatsApp me. Most of you have the number 236-7000. Would you be interested in going on a march like that? Okay. And the purpose of the march is one, agitation, and always education. We want to bring awareness of this particular issue to Barbadians who are not aware of what is happening there in St. Peter and throughout the different parishes, right? Especially on the South Coast, etc. Gospel Fest. Gospel Fest is coming up starting May 24th. May 24th is when Gospel Fest begins, and they have a full lineup. You can check their website for more information. But we have a special Gospel Fest that we are going to go to as the loyal opposition and the Marcia Week Show. We have rented a bus. We've rented a bus, y'all. And so we are going on the 31st to Farley Hill. Farley Hill. All you've got to do is to turn up to Independence Square at 12:30. If you turn up to Independence Square at 12:30 on Sunday, May 31st, you board the bus, bring some lunch. If you don't have any lunch, bring something to drink. Just walk with something. Walk with a cake, walk with some biscuits, walk with some soda bix, whatever you have. All right? Whatever you have, we're going to share, and we're going to eat together, and we're going to have fun. All right? So we're going to have a nice picnic on the 31st of May. How many of you are interested in that? Bring in the family. If you're interested, put your thumbs up, please. And we're asking you to RSVP by the 26th of May. Yeah. Teroni, you on this thing of me bringing food for you. Well, you know, once I bring food, I'll share it with you, Teroni. All right. So that's our excursion. Our excursion, the Marcia Week Show. Let's go. Gospel Fest 2026. Bus excursion, Farley Hill, the lovely, beautiful Farley Hill. Gospel Fest 2026. How many of you boarding the bus with us? Huh? And the last thing I want to tell you about is this. How many of you, have children, whether it's grandchildren or your own children, nieces, nephews, taking the common entrance tomorrow? How many of you have them taking? You have anybody taking the common entrance? How many of you are and have family members taking the common entrance, either children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, or great grandchildren? Please comment because we have a special show on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we have, oh, I'm a big girl. Please give me a call after the show. Give me a message, please. After the show, I would like to invite them down to the studio at Rock. We have a special gift bag for them. And we have a special show where we have a little discussion with them. Just a little half hour something, asking them about the exam, where they want to go to school, and just to inject something positive in our children. So that's will be our youth and children's edition right there at Praise Academy, Cavens Lane. And this is in compliments of sponsored by Praise Academy of Dance. So if you have children or grandson, right? Yes, some Lori Bob has a granddaughter. Lori Bob, just message me because I can't remember all of these things, but just message me and I can send the proper invitation to you. Tamara says that her son, and you have to let me know that whether they're coming or not so we can prepare their gift bag for them. All right, so we have a nice gift bag and we go have conversation with them, little refreshments, and speak to the children and see, try to instill something positive in them and get them speaking on camera. Even if they're shy, it's okay. If they smile, they don't want to talk, it's okay. We just gonna be happy to be all together in one room and having a good time. All right, so let the children come out to that Wednesday, and you would have to get them to the studio by 6:30 on Wednesday evening. 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday evening. I know that. Don't worry about they will they will be finished by about 7:45, so they can get home in time for bedtime. All right. And plus, they just did the exam, so I know how it is. Some of you let them stay up late anyway and watch a little TV or watch the tablet because they finished the exam. So this is also another fun activity that they can have. So if everybody can just message me if you're interested, your child or your ward, niece, nephew to be part of this. Just send me a message and said we are interested, and we will get that child there at 6:30 on Wednesday evening. I'll call him a rock. Right, Rock, Upper Rock, right next door to Guardian, not very far at all. And we are going to be there, myself and Dave, to receive them, etc. And it's going to be a wonderful experience for them. All right. So feel free to do that. And if you have young people home and you say, Marcia, I would like them to be part of a panel. We're developing a youth panel on for Wednesdays. Just teenagers. And you have a teenager there that you believe that they would do well on the panel. Just message me as well. And let me know and see, and let's interview them and they will see if they could form part of our youth panel. Level Up, that's going to be the name of their segment, Level Up, on a Wednesday. Because one of the things I will say is this: with our show, yes, Taroni, I know, yeah, somebody said it sounds really interesting. With our show is that we're not just going to be here saying what the government is not doing. Okay, we're not just going to be here criticizing. We're going to be here becoming answers. We've always done that. They accuse us of otherwise, but we've always done that. Being an answer in society. And we want to hear from our children. We want to draw our children closer. We want to draw the youth closer. And so that's what we want to use Wednesdays about. Okay? The Wednesdays is a time where we bring the children together, fun activities, etc. Some of you out there listening, you might want to donate to that. That is gonna demand a little gifts and prizes and all of that, right? To get it going. And if that's you, and you say, Marcia, I want to donate to the children's segment on a Wednesday. The children come around, we want to make sure that we are treating them well. We're putting together the gift package for the children. And you might say, Marcia, I want to help you with those gift packages. For example, we want to be able to go to Cloister and get Cloister bookstore or any of the bookstores and get a voucher so that they can get some books, some supplies. Yes, they rent the textbooks, but then they need supplies. Okay. And so we're not going to let them go empty-handed. Absolutely not. We're going to find a way to let them leave with something in their hand, a book inside to read. Plus, probably we're trying to get a voucher from one of these fast food places. Sorry, but we just want, but you've got to give them something that they like to they enjoy, not just a book. You might have anything as toiletries, anything. You say, Marcia, come and pick up these things and let the children put them in the gift bag for the children. If that's you, let me know. And so they get a bigger bag. All right. And we would present them with it on the show. Okay. Yes. And you all seem to like, you all seem to like that idea. I'm seeing people are saying they like the idea, and you might want to give to that. We do need help with it because we have another segment tomorrow, Tuesday. I'm meeting them up in Queen's Park and doing. We're filming some young people sharing their views, etc. And when they're finished, you want to take them to get something to eat. Once you're dealing with young people and children, you know how it is. You can't have the children there and they're hungry. You've got to do something. It's not like adults saying, say bye, and they understand the mission. They're looking for a little snow cone. The snow cone man is there in Queen's Park. You can buy them a few snow cones or something, or some chicken tenders or something like that, so they can have a good little time and they feel happy and they go home. All right. But the Marcia Week show, the loyal opposition, we are going to keep our children close. We are keeping the children close. You hear what I tell you? We are keeping. See, a lot of you saw them running behind I Show Speed, and you up to now you don't understand why, because you probably never even heard them talk about I Show Speed, but they're watching him on their device, but you don't even know who he is. You see, you don't even know who he is. But we've got to talk to our young people, with our children, and so we want that on the Wednesday. We want that to be dedicated to children's matters. We have a psychologist who's going to be helping me to put together the programs for the show with the children, and things that are that's engaging, get them to talk, to touch your hearts, and to connect with them at a real intimate personal level, right? We can't leave them up to the groomers. Remember, we were talking about grooming last time. We can't leave them up to the groomers. We cannot leave them up to the groomers, right? We have been dealing with children since we've been here, and we know they need time. You've got to spend the time with them. You've got to understand them. You've got to listen to them. Even when you might think it's foolishness that they're saying, you've got to listen to them. All right. So when Wednesday night come, don't tune off because they say, well, adults not on there. I want you to log in because you got to hear what they're saying. You have to know. And I tell you, if we begin to do that, we begin to solve the crime problem. I'm telling you, we're not about any foolishness on the show. This is not your regular show where people are just meeting and talking. We're going to find solutions. Can I tell you, this is something that we're working on? We're working on another bus. We're working. Yes, we have the bus with you adults and so on I'm going down, but we're working with an organization that deals with young men who have come out of the prison system, and young men who might have had one or two charges, etc. And we're asking them, provide us with 30 young men to go to Gospel Fest. And I told them I will raise the money for the bus for those young men. They will not pay a cent. Fill up the bus with these guys from off the streets and let's take them to Gospel Fest, to Farley Hill. A whole different experience. And you might say they're not going to want to go. Well, let's wait and see. I'm waiting to find out how many persons the organizer got, how many of the young men are willing to go. And I know you guys will help us with the bus. Let's get them there. Remove them. Sometimes you take them out of the community that they're in, right? You go into certain communities, you take them out, take them on a bus ride, take them something else, take them to Farley Hill. Do you know that there's so many young people who have never been to Farley Hill? Never gone riding out of the city. We see that all the time. Children who they live in Britain's Hill or wherever, and they will say, "Ma'am, well, I've never been to Farley Hill. I've never been to St. Lucie." And you're going to see some of that tomorrow. Tomorrow on Wednesday. Wednesday, we took the children out on a hike, and we're going to show you what they experience and what they see, and how they're like, "Oh my God, that's so beautiful." They stayed in their community, they would not see it. So we are going to be the answers to the prayers, and I need your assistance. I need your financial assistance, to be frank, and your prayers to make this a success. How many of you will support? How many of you will give towards these children and towards what we want to do for Farley Hill, getting a bus of these young people and taking them out of the city? How many of you want to give to that? Give me the thumbs up. I know some of you might not have, you might say, well, Marcy, I want to cook a pie for them. I want to provide food for them. Whatever, I know all of you. So putting the thumbs up, it doesn't have to be money. It might just be that you want to support in another way. So wait, only see, I'm a big girl. Only I'm a big girl want to support this venture. Listen, we could come on and we could talk about all the children all the things the young people are doing. That's bad. And all the things the parents should be doing, and the government should be doing, and this person should be doing. Well, hey, we've got to reach in there. That's what the groomers are doing. That's what the groomers are doing. Only I'm a big girl can help. Nobody else. Nobody else will help. Only I'm a big girl. Yes, okay, thank you, Sherry Johnson. Thank you, I'm a big girl, Sherry Johnson. 2 persons out of 539 of you. Yes, Jesus said, suffer the little children to come unto him. So are you going to help us, Andrea Moore? Can you help us? Yeah. Well, yeah. Anybody else apart from I'm a big girl, and yes. Lori Bob said she would help. Aaron Hunt is going to help. Thank you. Help us to make a difference. It could be one child. Everything I said, I have 2 more minutes in this segment. Everything that I'm talking to you about on this show, it's what with these children, what I experienced. I told you my story. Came out of a ghetto community. All around me, people are, smoking weed, selling weed, guns, all of that. As a child, I saw those things. But there was one woman, and her name is Darnella Anderson. And she reached into that community, right? And another one, Beverly Hamilton. And see, at this age, I haven't forgotten. And the first time I went to church I was 10 years old. It was the first time I went to Sunday school. I said 10, no, when I was 7. I'm so sorry. I went when I was 7, but I got baptized at 10. And those are the people that helped me. And the pastor of the church made sure I had lunch money every every Sunday night from the offering to send, make sure I had lunch money to go to school and bus fare. Okay? Bus fare and lunch money. You know, I want to get to church on Sunday night. Sunday night, Sunday evening, I iron my clothes and thing, and I'm at church, and church. I wait till church is finished because I'm going to get lunch money, and I'm going to get bus fare. And they would buy my books, and they take you on trips, and they all these things, and they provide creative environments for me to be able to do my theater and my poetry, and I won a lot of awards, all of these kinds of things because of people. So whatever you see me doing is what I know it works. I know it works. I never touch a gun. Okay? I can't, I never smoked the weed, but we drank it and sold it. Okay, so that's the truth. See, I tell you my business so that they can't go to Jamaica and go and dig up my business. I telling you the truth, right? But I was a child, you know. Yeah. So we are going to be that community loyal opposition. Let's take a group of them and let's work with them and let's see the goodness that's in our children. There are lots of good children out there, lots of great young people, and lots of great things that's good about Barbados. It's not all bad. All right. And we are going to work with the children. No, I'm not going to tell you that weed is good. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I actually I do not believe that young people should be smoking weed. So I see that comment and I want to correct it. I'm not here telling you that weed is good. I should never have been drinking. They gave us to drink at night. That was wrong of my guardians for doing that. It was wrong of my guardians for me to be selling that at a young age because I was good with money and I was honest. I would not steal. So they put me in charge of that. But that was wrong of my guardians. So I am not supporting that. Weed is not good. And I would never support that at all. I laughed about it, but it's not funny in that sense. All right. So I want to make that very, very clear because some of what's happening with our children is what they're smoking weed from primary school. All right. And it is affecting them. Yeah. Yes, we were young. And that's why these young people calendar need the guidance. Let me see the thumbs up again of those people who are saying, Marcia, I want to help you. I want to help the Marcia Week Show and the loyal opposition with these young people. Okay, we're starting back. Let me just say quickly, we're starting back the Elevate program. Elevate is going to be at Praise Academy. Do you have a child? Do you have a child who is in primary school and that child has a problem reading? Okay, not class 4 because we're not doing common entrance. We are helping children who are not able to read. If you have a child, the child is not able to read, please let us know. We have a program on a Saturday morning from 9 to 10 at Praise Academy for children who need to read. Reading is important for children. If you have a child who's not able to read, Saturdays 9 to 10. Sunny, who you see come on here in the night, she has a whole set of material. And she taught a couple last term, and we are looking for some new ones now. So if that is you, again, message me. My grandson, my niece, but they must be primary school. And we're not doing common entrance preparations. We are going a bit deeper than that. We want them to be able to read and comprehend. Yeah? Thank you, Shirley. You are wonderful women. You give wonderful compliments. And we are talking up my heart and she's telling me how beautiful I look. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. You need to hear that sometimes. Thank you. So, folks, I didn't plan to do this whole thing on the children, but I guess it's on God's heart. Shirley, we need your help. I know you help us with a lot of things. We need some help with these children. If you can help us, message me. Let me know how you can help. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Annette. You guys are wonderful. Compliments of you guys who watch the show. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. The children got me carried away. Yes, it's true. Because you know what, Teroni? Last night we were talking so much about grooming. And we could come in here all the time and we could criticize and we could say what's wrong. And that's why I say I'm not into passing around all of this nonsense and laughing about this and laughing about that. I'm not laughing because somebody, while you're there laughing, somebody is crying. You understand? There's a wife crying, there's a family with that have two children in there crying. So I didn't know laughing matters. Somebody sent me today, some comedian sending this, and I'm not into all of that. We're into bringing change in Barbados. We're about seeing the change that we need to see in Barbados. Okay? That's what we're about. We're about seeing the change that we need to see in Barbados. I'm not about all of that. And I will never pass it on. Never. So you could send me whatever and who this, and they're making this whole fun about what happened with those two young men and all of that. I'm not into that. I'm telling you now. I am about reformation. I'm about change. I'm about those children. If there were children in that family, in that marriage, we need to be praying for those children, praying for that wife, praying for those men, and anybody who, if they're like that and have that problem, for them to get out. And I'm hoping that as we went through the whole thing on grooming last night, okay, that those of you who were listening, that you will be able to recognize. All right, you'll be able to recognize those challenges in your children, right? Or your young people or your young adults. They might live at home, but you can look for those signs. And we're going to go over those signs again. All right. But I think it is very, very important that that is done, right? That we are not just, criticizing, but we are addressing the matter. Well, folks, we are going to go right into On the Radar right now. On the Radar. That's what we are looking at, folks. And on the radar, we are going to be talking about right now the Freedom of Information Act, and ask, what is the government afraid of? Now, there was an article, I don't know if Dave can put it up. There was a regional media conference. And I want you to listen up, guys, because this is a time, there's a lot of education is in this, and there is need for us to agitate for this. All right. And there's an article in one of the newspaper pieces, I think it's from The Nation, where they are asking for the media. They're asking for the Freedom of Information law in Barbados. And the reason for this is that it goes to the heart of democracy, as I told you all, and keep reminding us. And we all know, I don't even have to tell you, we are in a one-state, one-party state, one-party parliament, one-party government. Without the Freedom of Information legislation, we are going to be asking these hard questions and not getting any answers. Answers about these major public contracts. Remember, we're doing the Carrie Festa files, that investigative series, and we're asking big questions. But without the Freedom of Information Act, that piece of legislation, the government is not bound to tell us anything. What about the loan agreements? We want to be able to see the stipulation, the terms in the loan agreements. But without the Freedom of Information legislation, we are not able to see it. So we are putting it on the radar. This is something we're not going to delve so much in it tonight. We're going to get back to it. What about public spending? What about national projects? What is going to happen to that? What happened? We want to understand the detail because it's our money. Barbados is said to be, when you check online, Barbados is modern and we're transparent. Huh? But I'm going to show you how many countries in the Caribbean have the Freedom of Information Act or legislation, and Barbados does not. So the big question is, what is this government afraid of? You have all the seats. And then you came and told those in your party they can't cross the floor. So you have everything. You have all the power concealed. You have all the power to yourself. And you're still afraid. Mia Motley, what are you afraid of? Why can't citizens access the government spending records? We can access our bank statements, okay? But we can't access your government spending records. We can't access the money, the information on how the government is spending because the Mia Motley government is refusing to pass the Freedom of Information Act. But you want to pass the citizenship bill, though, so you can revoke people's citizenship and do all kinds of nonsense. Who is going to benefit when the information is hidden? You. The Mia Motley government will benefit. And that is what you are voted for. You knew this is what you're going to get, from this red team. You know it. Opaque. No transparency. If we cannot follow the money, in Barbados, can we really have democracy if we can't follow the money? So they're basically saying, investigate all you want, but we will never pass the Freedom of Information legislation. That is right there in the parliament. They talk about it, just like the legislation, the Integrity in Public Life Bill, that legislation. You see that? Those two that will keep them in check. How much money they came in with and how much they're leaving with. And the other legislation to tell us how much they're spending. They don't want that one passed. Let me just quickly, we're going to go back into this, but I quickly just want to tell you the countries, right, in the Caribbean that already have the Freedom of Information legislation passed. Okay, all around the world, there are about 139 countries all around the world that already have the Freedom of Information Act. And this is according to the Global Transparency Trackers, okay? But Caribbean, Jamaica has one of the strongest and most used Freedom of Information legislation in the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago, Belize, Antigua and Barbuda, Guyana, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Bahamas, Cayman Islands, Bermuda. Where's Barbados? And we're supposed to be so modern? Don't you think it's strange? And this prime minister is flying all about and telling everybody else how to live their life. And she is all about morality and all about what is right and what is wrong and democracy. Remember her speech on democracy? But refuse to bring a Freedom of Information legislation. I know you're watching, government. I know the PM Motley, you have your people assigned to watch this. Go back and tell her that it is cowardly. You're a coward. You are a coward, madam. What are you afraid of? We might see what Why can citizens in Jamaica and Trinidad and Belize and Guyana and the Bahamas request records by law? By law, they can request records, but Barbados still cannot. But you are going around the world, giving speeches, standing up on these platforms, talking about democracy. And we are not going to be able to get it. Journalists need to be able to access the contracts and the spending record, internal decisions. What about opposition parties? Need to be able to access government documents. Why are you locking up the government documents? Why are you holding them up? The citizens have a right to ask those uncomfortable questions. And that is what this government, and if you're watching from another country, you need to understand that this country, this government, this mere motley government is opaque. They are far removed from anything called transparency and accountability. They have refused it. It was discussed. A draft bill was circulated. Okay? And they were supposed to get public consultation on it and so on. It is sitting there. You know it's there. But you are afraid. You are being a coward. You are a coward. The question is, are we going to demand it strongly enough, Barbados? You gone ahead and you want to pass cybercrime laws, right? To govern us. Everything is to govern us. The Computer Misuse Act, you're going to hold it around our necks. Huh? You victims can't say anything. People must be victimized in this country and they can't say anything. But the laws that should govern you, you refuse to pass them. Tax laws, we have financing laws, all these laws. Remember last year, everywhere we turned was a law. But the people's right to know, you have no interest in passing those laws. Shame on you. Really. A big shame on you. Shame on you for that. And that is what they were asking for this week. Yeah? Shame on them. They're cowards. Right? This mere motley government, they're cowards. Cowards. You're afraid. You're afraid. What are you afraid of? I don't know. Is it your wrongdoings that might come to the top? You tell us. I don't know. But you know what? That's what you all voted for. You voted for that. You voted for this wrongdoing to continue. You voted for this to continue. Well, we're going to move on, guys, to the announcer. Yeah. The announcer. Dave, if you can put that up for me, please. Well, where is my phone? The announcer is ready, guys. The announcer is ready. The announcer controversy. He's ready. All right. Oh, this is the announcer, and you know that he has a case running with the Labor Department, the tribunal. I hope I'm saying that right. Yes. And let me try to find his message here. And I just want you to know that he has his song. And he's written, he told me today, I think he wrote about 50 songs, you know. Did you all know that Ronnie has been writing gospel songs as well? Yes, he sent me a whole ton of gospel songs. Right? Okay. he sent me a whole ton of gospel songs, and he has his songs ready. And he told me to read the lyrics. He told me to let you know he coming hard, hard, hard. And that's another outing that's an outing that we are going to have to do, right? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to Ronnie's song here, and the music is coming up. But let me get to it quickly because we couldn't get it on the screen. So I'm trying to get it from my phone. Right. It's right here. This is the lyrics here. Right. The name of the song is Don't Mind Them. Right. That is the name of his song. Don't Mind Them. Right. It said, don't mind them. I think I spelled it right. Let's see, because somebody going to correct me right now. Don't mind them. And these are the lyrics that he has so far, right? Banning a song about Carol Roberts, that wasn't right, but had the audacity to clear the song to play finals night. They think Bajan's foolish when it comes to the media, firing a known broadcaster who sings calypso. I should know, using an appearance by the announcer, speaking after judging night on the Marcia Week show. So, listen, we get all in song. Don't mind them, management. Don't mind them, predicament. Don't mind them, embarrassment. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. That is the announcer. That's his song. And he's put it out. And he's getting a lot of likes on it online. That's just the lyrics. I know that the actual song, he said to let you know he's working on that. All right. And and then he has another one here. Let's see if I can get to it here. Another verse. The second verse. Who they think they are with such a defense? When Ronnie revealed the truth, they were pressuring him ever since. Document after document was shown at a march. Correspondence they never made known. It gets so bad, so mad, so much pain to see how Voice of Barbados is now a puppet of Port of Spain. Oh Lord, what would Harold Hart say about this circus of shame, undermining its legacy and disrespecting Fred Gollop's name? They think that Bajan foolish. This is the chorus. When it comes to the media, firing a known broadcaster who sing calypso, I should know. Using an appearance by the announcer, speaking after judging night on the Marcia Week show. So, don't mind them, management. Don't mind them, predicament. Don't mind them, embarrassment. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. Listen, I can't wait to go to the tent to hear this man. All right. So that's going to be another outing for us. Yeah. But he's in a newspaper today because he is calling for some changes. The announcer raises concerns about the judging process. Again, accountability and transparency. Not even in the judging process for Krapova, right? Okay. Whenever artists start questioning these systems that they're part of, one could say that, Ronnie Clark, the announcer, is part of the festival, the NCF festival, ecosystem. All of the artists, they are stakeholders. So when it is that they start to question what's happening, you got to listen. Ronnie raised a lot of the announcer raised a lot of issues with the Krapova Festival in his song, and a lot of those things are addressed. I'm hearing Kohabla parties coming back. Is that true? And now he is raising issues with the judging process. Is the judging process transparent? That's what he's raising this year. Are the creatives being respected? They've come before you. You are judging. Huh? Why can't the process become transparent? Is crop over becoming political? Are they choosing their favorites? People who are going to lick their shoes? The bootlickers, are those the ones that are going to win the crown? The political bootlickers, those that kick, that lick, the clowns wear this big red shoes, right? The clowns big red shoes. Are those the ones that are going to move up the ladder? You got to know somebody, and those shoes got to be red. Because what Mr. Clark is saying, what the announcer is saying, is if the artists don't trust the judging, what will happen to the integrity of the competition? Because inevitably what's going to happen is that we are going to discourage creatives. They're going to put their great work out there, talented, and we don't nurture the talent because we push them aside and we let our friends win. What do you think? Do you think that the judging sheets and the scoring should be made public? Throughout the season, we're going to go back into this. As I said, we are just we are just touching on a lot of these things tonight, and we are going to go a little more in detail about it. But do you think? What do you think? I want to hear your comment. Comment in the comment section, please. Should judging sheets and scoring be made public? All right. So the other two areas that I had, I'm going to leave those for another night, because we have we have quite a bit that we want to discuss. Tonight we want to move on to another area, so I'm going to leave that for another night. Okay, but let me see your comments. Do you think that they should they should publish? There should be basically we were asking for transparency. Yes. Okay, people saying transparent, that it should go public. It should go public. Yeah. Yeah. Well, folks, I want to take a little break, Dave. But I don't even know if I have the time, so we're going to go. Dave, do you have a sound? If not, I will just go straight into the fixers. Now, I want you to pay attention to this segment. There are some things that I learned today, and there's some things that I learned today, and I want to share with you. So let's play part of this song, and then we're going to go straight into a new segment called the fixers. Okay, you got to listen to this one. All right, so don't go. Share, like, and share. in your WhatsApp groups, please. Thank you. Go right ahead.
I've been walking through the valley, Lord. My feet so tired and worn. Storm clouds gather all around me since the day that I was born. But I hear a voice in the distance, soft and mighty like the sea, saying, child, keep on moving. There's a crossing meant for thee. When the road gets long and the night seems cold, I remember what the elders told. Oh, I'm going down to the river Jordan. Wash my soul. Going down to the river Jordan. Lord, show me the way. Lay my burdens in the water. Let my sins drift away. When I rise from the river Jordan, I'll be free. I'll be free someday. Mama sang about that river by the candle late at night. Said the Lord will guide your footsteps when you cannot see the light. Every tear you cried in sorrow, every prayer you whispered low, the river Jordan hears the story of every child below. Oh, I'm going down to the river Jordan. Wash my soul and down to the river Jordan. Lord, show me the way. My burdens in the water. Let my sins drift away. When I rise from the river Jordan, I'll be free. I'll be free someday. Jordan water, deep and wide. Lord, take these chains I hold inside. Oh, mercy flowing like a tide. Carry me to the other side. Carry me, Lord, carry me. When my journey here is over,
This is such a beautiful
when the
song.
trumpet sound so clear, I'll step down.
Michelle Daniel again.
In heaven's drawing near, saints and angels waiting yonder on that shine.
This is an original. This is an original, folks. Can you hear me? Yeah, this is an original. Michelle Daniel. Michelle, if you're listening, awesome work. Awesome work.
Down to the river Jordan. Wash my soul down to the river Jordan. Lord, show me the way. Let my burdens in the water. Let my sins drift away. Oh, when I rise from the river Jordan, I'll be free. Yes, I'll be free. Yes, I'll be free. Yes, I'll be free. Yes, I'll be free. I'll be free someday.
Awesome. I love these musical interludes. Lovely. This is so awesome. Michelle, once again, beautiful, really beautiful. We are going to get all of her songs. We have to put them together on a playlist for you so you can go on the channel, find them, and just play them. All right? Awesome work. Well, we're talking about fixers. What do we mean? What do we mean by fixers? You know, what about, you ever thought about people who are grieving or you've been grieving, right? When you're grieving, for example, it's when you're very vulnerable, right? So those who are grieving are very vulnerable. The elderly, a lot of times they're confused. They don't remember a lot of things. They don't remember about land, and all the details, the probate, the inheritance, money, court matters. Who do you trust? In some instances, I find, the that elderly person might be here in Barbados and all their family, they are overseas. And across the country, people are turning to people that they call fixers. Okay? Or that's a term for them. They're fixers. People who say, I can sort it for you. Anybody ever come across any of those? I know people, I can help you. Don't worry. Miss Maud is 80 something and having some trouble. She can't remember a lot of things. She can't, she probably have a matter at the court and can't go to the court, probably sick in bed, whatever the case might be. And she needs some advice and she needs people who are going to help her. I know ministers. I know ministers in government. I can help you. I know lawyers, is what they'll say. Or they say, sign here, I'll handle it. If you just sign here, I'll handle it. But the question is, where does help end? And where does exploitation begin? That's the thing, Help on one hand, exploitation on the other hand. So tonight we're asking, who is handling legal matters in Barbados and under what authority? Important. It's not one of those segments that is so, juicy, but it will save you. It will protect you. So let's learn a few things tonight. Now, in law, you have a power of attorney. And I'm sure a lot of you know what the power of attorney does, okay? The power of attorney allows someone to act on another person's behalf in particular, financial matters or administrative matters, okay? What you have to remember, those of you who are seniors, when that person signs the document and they says, okay, you sign and you said you're making them a power of attorney for you. The power of attorney does not automatically make them a lawyer. They don't automatically become your lawyer. That person cannot hold themselves out as your legal counsel. Do you understand? And that person, that power of attorney, should not mislead vulnerable elderly clients about their qualifications. I have had too many elderly people who have been victimized. Up to yesterday, I had calls. People who are putting themselves out there as fixers. So you have the power of attorney. That is basically one of, if the person is a power of attorney, you give them, allow them to work, to do things to act on your behalf in certain financial matters or administrative matters. Certain. They are not lawyers. And if you're out there and you're a power of attorney, you must not mislead people. These vulnerable people about your qualifications and what you can do and what you can't do, especially the elderly. Then you have what is called a paralegal. Okay? What does a paralegal do? And all of this, I was able to sit and chat with a lawyer today, and got all this information. Thank you, Corey Beckles. And Corey is going to be, Attorney Beckles will be on the show with us next week, Monday, to answer all of your questions, right? Estates and wills, etc. The paralegal now may help you to organize your paperwork, right? Which means that you're going to have to give them your paperwork, right? And they can help you to organize it, especially you have a court case coming up. They will help you to prepare the documents. That's a paralegal. And of course, any kind of administrative legal tasks, they can help you with that. That's a paralegal. That paralegal, you're a paralegal, you must not pretend to be a lawyer. All of that needs to stop. You must stop offering legal advice that is reserved for licensed attorneys. Continue to be a paralegal, because paralegals, they are important, because I told you what they do. They help to organize your paperwork. They prepare documents. They assist with any administrative legal tasks. They're important, but they are not lawyers. Stop misleading the public about your authority. Some of you out there, you're doing this, and we know who you are. And if you continue, I am going to call your name on the show. It's over 2 years now. I have called you privately, and I have said, go and right these wrongs before I expose you. As long as I have ability and I have breath in my body and I'm sitting in this chair, you are not going to take advantage of the elderly in this country and the vulnerable and the women, especially older women. I rebuke you tonight. You could watch all you want. I am not calling your name tonight. But if I continue to hear about what you are doing to the elderly, I am going to call your name. As you would know, I had to refer matters to a lawyer about you. You know very well who you are. And I rebuke you tonight. I rebuke you. Why are you misleading the public about your authority? If you're a paralegal, you're important because you can help people to organize their paperwork, prepare the documents, and assist with the administrative legal tasks. I want to ask you another question. Those of you who are paralegals out there, why is it when that elderly woman wants to move on and get a lawyer to work with her or him, you refuse to give them their documents? Why are you telling them that you don't want to give them their documents? They're trying to find you. The elderly are scared of you. I rebuke you, I said. I rebuke you tonight. And I'm using that word because some of you, you are using witchcraft to work, to draw in the elderly, because you're connected to people who are into witchcraft. Follow me, people. I know exactly what I'm saying. And that's why I'm specifically using the word rebuke. You cannot shut me up. Prayer warriors, pray. Because this person is connected, is mixed up, some of these people, in witchcraft. And that's how they use all of this manipulation and draw people in. You will no longer mislead the public about your authority. Paralegal, that is fine. Do what you have to do. Do not let anybody call me again on my phone about you. You know exactly who you are. You know exactly who you are. And you think that you can use threatening messages when you're ready and want to get these little old ladies scared. You get a lawyer to write them a letter. You take the people money, but when it's time the people want their money, you go ahead and you write a letter. You get your lawyer friends to write a letter to say the people harassing you, when you know very well is that you have their money, however small it is. It's their hard-earned money and their documents. And if you're listening to me and you have people's documents, I have already contacted a lawyer for you. And if you do not give those people back their documents, we're going to go public. And there's you can't hide behind no witchcraft and all that nonsense. Do you understand me? Right? Some of these people, loyal opposition in Barbados, what they do, they go and they form different chats, bereavement chats, charities, all of that, so that they can draw in the vulnerable. When somebody is grieving, what a time. They're so vulnerable, you draw them in. People have dementia, all of that, and that's how you choose to live. I rebuke you, I said. So you have the power of attorney, you have paralegal. That is what is lawful that can happen. The power of attorney, not a lawyer. The paralegal is not a lawyer. Okay? Because we already have a lot of these lawyers who are already ripping off the people. And now you have people, there's some people, it's not everybody that they're good power of attorneys out there, and good paralegals out there that are very important. They do an important job. So I am not painting everybody with the same brush, but I know one, and I know that one, who that one is. Now, there is something called a Mackenzie friend. I learned of this for the first time today. Anybody else knew about the Mackenzie friend? Huh? Anybody know about a Mackenzie friend? I didn't know about that till today. I was educated about that. But all of what they're doing tonight, I'm a big girl. I'm a big girl. You pray, because they claim they can put spell on people and all this nonsense. And don't you try to touch this. You will not report this page. You will not report this page. You will not report this page. Everybody just start to like the page for me, please. Everybody like the page. I know they're watching. That's it. They believe, and they are doing this thing because they have connection with that red gang. All of this is they are getting away with what they're doing in Barbados to the elderly because they are connected to this red government. What we're busting it open tonight. We're busting it open tonight. We're busting it open tonight. And Corey Beckles is going to be on next week and answer all your questions, and so that you don't get caught up in this anymore. I know who they are. And nobody write any names. Do not write any names in the chat. Let's be responsible. Okay? I'm giving them a chance to make it right. I'm just giving, do not write any names. Let us be responsible. I'm giving them a chance. I said I'm giving them a chance, so I'm going to give them a chance. So there's something called a Mackenzie friend. Okay? And Mr. Derek is here, so I have 10 minutes. Oh my God, help me. Mackenzie friend. The Mackenzie friend may sit with someone in court. Didn't know about this. The Mackenzie friend may take notes and also help to organize documents, because there are some people who are afraid to go to the court's house by themselves, and there's a Mackenzie friend, and I'm told this is practiced a lot in the UK, where that's where we got our common law and all of that from. That's our foundation. But the Mackenzie friend, it's not used a lot in Barbados, but and I'm sure some people might do that here, but I was told that it's not used a lot. The Mackenzie friend you cannot automatically speak for clients in court. You can't act as legal counsel. See, what they're doing is confusing a lot of things here. Now, so we learned about the legal way that somebody can assist you. All right? Can help you. Power of attorney, paralegal, or a Mackenzie friend. That's our education moment there. What are the warning signs? What are the warning signs when help starts to look like control? When they come to help you, but it start to look like control. Elderly people, those who take care of the elderly, listen, please. Red flags for families. Constant cash requests. And that is what was happening to the people that I spoke to. One of them, the woman was here and the daughter was in the UK. And they would turn up at that elderly woman every minute. They want money. There are no written receipts. They don't give you any written receipts. Pay attention, folks. You have no formal engagement letters. You did not put a letter together and say, okay, I want you to be my power of attorney. I want you to be, you're going to act and do these things on my behalf, and so on. No formal engagement letters. Do they sometimes come and pressure you to sign documents quickly? Is that person pressuring you to sign documents quickly? Do you find that sometimes you don't know what they filed? You don't know what was filed. They have your original documents and will not return it. I know of a case right now, just like that. Original documents not returned. Some of these go as far as they try to isolate you from your family members. Yes? They do a lot of emotional manipulation. I have to rush ahead. I try to tell you that only I can fix this. Don't trust the lawyers. I can fix it. Do you feel afraid to ask questions? Ask them questions. Whenever you feel like that, you need to understand that that is in the realm of control. Yeah? It is a shame what is happening in this country with people who claim because they are connected with the red and ready people and they know this and they know that and whatever, they want to take advantage of the elderly and the vulnerable. The elderly and the vulnerable, these are the groups here. Widows, bereaved families. Some of these people, you believe they'll create a chat just so bereaved persons? Isn't that what a manipulation that is? Elderly landowners, they swoop down like bees to honey when there are estate disputes, property confusion, because they understand that grief will make people vulnerable, right? Isn't that true? And when people feel confused, what happens to them? Think about yourself. When you're confused, if you have to go to the court and you're confused and you're not sure what you have to do, it makes you dependent. And once you are that dependent, the reality is that you can attract predators. So viewers, these are your questions here for you. Are your parents handing over documents without legal review? It might not be your parent. It might be an aunt, an uncle. Do elderly relatives truly understand what they signed? What about the family? Do you know who have access to their papers? And as I close, what happens when these fixers say they know politicians and they know ministers, MPs, and they know lawyers, they got an in, they know judges. They love to talk about that. They know judges and they know police. Are they using their influence to become a weapon? Huh? You're a community activist. Are you using that to hide your personal agenda? The reality is that tonight we're not just talking about one person, we're talking about a system. A system, if left to work, can be of help. The power of attorney, the paralegal, the Mackenzie friend, they have their place and they're important, just as though the lawyers are important, but don't overstep your bounds. So tonight is about that system, about a system or a culture that is developing where these people are presenting themselves as saviors. And what's happening are vulnerable Barbadians in our midst. They're handing over their documents, they're handing over their money. And these elderly people, they're handing over their trust, only for it to be trampled on. Who are these gatekeepers? Who are these gatekeepers? Who are the people that will verify the fixers? Who's going to protect the elderly? Huh? Very important, very important. Dave, if you can tell Mr. Derek Alleyne that we can see him, but he's blurred, completely blurred, Dave. Dave? He's completely blurred. We can see him, but there's a cast over him. Yes. Did this segment help anybody? Somebody says avoid giving them cash. Pay by check or a banker's draft. It's terrible, this corruption. And they come and say that they're going to help you to get over the corruption. Yes, some of the lawyers themselves, they're very dishonest as well. No, you don't have to say no disrespect. They're dishonest. And that's why if these people are allowed, the power of attorneys and the paralegal, the Mackenzie friends are allowed to do their job because they have a place, but it's done properly. It's done within the law, right? Then it helps as that other person with a second eye for you to look out for you. Yeah. Shirley said these guys were explaining about that. What guys? Okay, I am speaking about particular situation. Yes, it must be done within the law. Within the law is what I am saying, and I'm being very forceful about that because nobody wants to touch it. People are so scared. But not when elderly people call me. I'm not. No, I say no. Dave, he's still blurred. Can't reach him. Okay, he's gone to check on something. Do you have his number, Dave? Yes. Okay. While I wait on Mr. Dr. ALLEYNE to join, okay, I think he's trying to fix his camera. Oh, we want that camera fixed, man. We need that camera fixed. It seemed to be in a particular mode, and you're not getting him on his phone. You see what I'm saying? Hi, Dr. ALLEYNE. We're seeing you, but you're in a cloud. Oh boy, you're in a cloud. You're blurry. It's okay. Dr. ALLEYNE, Dave is trying to reach you. Let's see if you can go out.
I can reach you. I can call you and finish.
Dr. ALLEYNE, if you can hear me, can you restart? Go out and come back in. Right? Leave. Yes, leave and let's see. Dave, see if you can reach him now. Thank you. Right? If not, we're gonna have to do it without it. But let me just while he's doing that. I want us to look quickly on something here. Right? Let's do something here. I want to talk to us about some gatekeepers in the media. Some gatekeepers in media. Because a lot of times you are what I'm noticing, we talked last night about groomers, right? Do you know that these groomers are not just in politics, but some are in media? And I'm not naming any particular media house, but some of them are in high positions in media. And they are in positions where they can influence the hiring and firing of people. And I want to tell you, sometimes you just have to watch what they're doing. Watch how the people that they hire. Okay? Sometimes just watching what they're doing, you get a sense of who they are. Be more observant. But I'm telling you, there is something that is going to happen in Barbados. There's something that's going to happen. Because these groomers in media, they control the voices that we hear sometimes in media or we see in media. Sometimes these groomers decide which young man gets the opportunity, which young man gets the microphone, and who get the camera. I just have about 4 minutes to chat about this with you. Which young man gets a contract and who gets a seat at the table? Do you know that's happening in Barbados? These people they're powerful gatekeepers. But their actions say to us, it looks like they're groomers. Now, sometimes these are good mentors, sometimes they're good guides, and sometimes these people can genuinely build careers. But we are talking about those that are mentoring through manipulation. They are holding up the carrot, okay? And they're manipulating our young people. That's what we're talking. There's a difference between good mentors and guides. They want something for something. When they're giving you an opportunity, but they want you to remain dependent. There's that invisible string attached, yeah? We talked about it in politics, but I am telling you, it's in all of the different, remember I told you that for a lot of these young men to move ahead, there are some big, I'm gonna call them, I'm a church girl, they come in like a big principality. These are gatekeepers. And I want you to know we're praying, we're praying, we're dealing with you. Because all of those gatekeepers, you're going to come down. You're going to get exposed. Yeah? Yes. And I want, you see, I am, and I want you to read through the lines. You're smart enough, Barbados, to read through the lines of what I'm trying to say. Right? And the last thing I'll say before Dr. ALLEYNE comes on is watch what happens when a media personality is involved in a public, there's some kind of public embarrassment, public, what am I saying here? Scandal. What happens to the trust of the citizens? Those people that listen to the analysis that is given, the editorials that are written, and all these different things. Will these media houses think about that? Will media houses, what will the media houses do when there is a scandal? And so we are going to watch to see what is going to happen, right? Because trust is everything. When there is a public scandal of a media personality, whether here or overseas or whatever, what should happen? Is there going to be an investigation? Will the public get any answers? Or it's just going to go like everything else in Barbados, no accountability? And I'm telling you, watch the gatekeepers and watch the people that they bring into the organization. Watch the people under their care. Watch, and you watch, and you will see that they sit there like a big principality, a big gatekeeper, right? Yes, Angelo, no more cover-ups. We are done. We are done with it. We know what is happening. Yeah. And let me say this before Mr. ALLEYNE comes, because I don't want to get him caught up in this. I want to say this here, that we should have known the kind of administration that these were going to run, because you remember there were people in this administration that QEH could tell you that they had patients that were beaten up by some people in government, by some of these leaders in government. They bite up people. Remember all of those scandals? There were scandals before they went in. And you went and put them in and expect something different. Look at what's happening now. But we're going to come back to this. We're going to come back to this, okay? We are going to come back to this. So let's go right now. I can see Dr. ALLEYNE, and I am smiling because I am so excited about that. So let me just bring him right in. Good night, sir.
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I am great, and you look great in blue. I can see you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's really nice to be back again. I'm sometimes beginning to look forward to every week, and while I want to touch a bit on transport, I think that I just want to say that when it comes to our elderly, we really need to stop the talk and to start putting not legislation, but programs providing adequate staffing at the departments that are charged with looking after the elderly.
Yes.
We like to run and say that we put in any legislation, and then when you check the legislation, some of the regulations make no sense, and then you don't have the resources to follow the regulations and to ensure that what you want to do is done. And that is what my challenge is with some of these pieces of legislation. We have them on the books, but they really remain. And I think someday we'll come back and look at what is happening to our elderly, not only in terms of their well-being, in terms of safety and so on, but what are they doing? What activities are available for them to spend the best of their older last years in good comfort and satisfaction?
Yes.
We talk a lot about some of the things that happen to them, but we want to know what are some of the things that are happening for them, so that they can enjoy the rest of their days when they should be enjoying their retirement and so on. But I think another day we will come back and look at that. But today I wanted to follow up on a paper that I wrote and submitted to the social media. And
Yes.
I have to stay the social media because no matter how often I send articles to the mainstream, I seem not to be able to get them published. So I have to live on the social media, and I promised myself I'm going to upgrade some of them and send them to the international media as well.
Excellent. Excellent.
But my attention was caught to a discussion between the Prime Minister, Mayor Motley, and the Democratic Labour Party's candidate, Jason Phillips, at a town hall meeting in St. Peter. And he was questioning the quality of the transport service and the conflicting statements by the Prime Minister and her deputy about the future of the Transport Board. That caught my attention early week before, and I put my pen to paper and raised some issues. And central to my concern was, what is the government's real intention? What is the government doing with the Transport Board? Now, the Prime Minister seems not to be able to understand what the word privatization means. And therefore is probably confused because she says she's not privatizing it, but she's going to offer shares to the staff. Now, in 2025, when this statement about the future of the transport board was being debated, the permanent secretary and the Minister of Transport said, yes, we are divesting the transport board, and workers will be offered some opportunities to benefit from the divestment. Now, the Prime Minister said that they'll be selling shares to the workers, and I don't know if she said anything about other Barbadians, but my concern is, what is the role of government in the transport system in Barbados? What will be the role of government? Don't tell me that you're offering shares to workers or to the workers and their family or to workers otherwise. What will be the role of government in the transport system in Barbados? Is it going to be merely regulatory, or will it have an administrative role and a functional role in providing transport services for Barbadians? And I think the government needs to come out and make a clear statement about what its role will be. Just to glibly say that you're going to provide opportunities for staff workers to buy into the transport system is not saying enough, because the governments throughout the years in Barbados have been critical to providing transportation across Barbados. Now, Barbados may choose to forget or may not remember that in 1955, the Transport Board was formed by an Act of Parliament. At that time, the Transport Board had 116 buses that they took over from 8 concessionaires. 116 buses. Today, the Transport Board, at 2025, after it received the 30 buses, the gift from China, reported that it had 99 buses. Now, in 1955, the population in Barbados was around 240 or less, 240,000 or less. And we had 116 buses. With the population now going to 285,000, we are down to 99 buses.
So hold a minute. So wow. So from 1955,
Yes.
116 and 2025, 99 buses.
Yes.
Guys, you're taking notes like me. I'm learning. I love when you come on. Keep going. Because you got the facts.
In 2005, a consultant, Greenwood, came to the Barbados Transport Board at the time and did a study. And he and academic Roberts did a paper and presented it to a conference, the 9th International Conference on Competition and Ownership in Land Passenger Transport. I think it was either Italy or in Egypt. I will confirm that.
And that's 2005.
Yes, it's a paper that they produced, and it featured Sri Lanka, Great Britain, and Barbados. Sri Lanka, Great Britain, and Barbados.
Yes.
And in 2005, the authors reported that Barbados had 250 full-size one-level buses. 250 full-size single. In other words, they were not double-deckers, single-decker. 250. In addition to that, there were 228 23-seat minibuses. 228 23-seat minibuses and 226 10-seat road taxis. That is 2005. Now, I don't have the data on the number of minibuses because I didn't have time to go and get it current. But I'm willing to bet that we may have 200 road taxis, but we don't have 228 minibuses. And what in that paper, the authors also pointed to the fact that we were producing buses, bringing in chassis, and constructing buses in Barbados.
What?
Yes.
We were constructing buses in Barbados in 2005?
Yeah. One company was called Acme.
Acme?
Yes. Acme. It was located in Keene Gardens, St. Thomas. And we were constructing buses. Now, the problems identified in 1955 when the Transport Board was taken over from the 8 concessionaires was that there was a problem with routing, scheduling, maintenance, and management.
Yeah.
These are the guys identified in the paper. Those were the problems back then.
Routing, scheduling, maintenance.
Right. And the government, recognizing the problems the concessionaires were having, took responsibility and took over the administration of transport in Barbados. That was 1955. Over the years, some concessionaires then began to run services alongside the government service. So we had companies like the Rockland, Elite, Federal, and Progressive, and a couple others, which had certain routes assigned to them. But the Transport Board maintained the majority of the service. Around 1974, between 74 and 1977, there was a new talk about taking over all of the routes, because most of the private routes ended around 8 p.m. And people living in St. Andrew and St. John and so on, because the truth is that the Transport Board always took on the far route in St. Lucie. But St. Andrew was run by the Rockland, was mainly controlled by the Rockland. St. George, I think that was the Elite and so on. But I don't have all of that detail, but there were about 5 or 6 of them. And between 74 and 77, and I'm trying to confirm that date, because one paper I'm reading is saying 75 and the other one is saying 77. So I'm saying between 74 and 77,
Yes.
decisions were made to nationalize the Transport Board again and to take over all the routes, but still allow some of the minibuses to continue. But the government then took responsibility then for St. Andrew, St. John, St. George, and so on, where the other buses operated. Now, the point I want to make, though, that in 1973, 74, when that decision was made to take over, nationalize the Transport Board, there are only about 28 routes.
28 routes.
Yes, about 28.
At that time, how many buses we had? We know that as yet. We know
No,
that
because remember, this is really, I don't have those. I'm going to get those numbers, but I'm saying the report in 2005 reported that we had 250.
Yeah, we had 200. Yes, you're correct. Okay.
Right. So we would have been moving from 116 up to the 250.
Yes.
We can make that kind of assessment. But now today, we have 70 routes with 99 buses.
Wow. So we have 70 routes, right? And 99 buses. And we could say we had, we had 22 routes. And in 2005, we had 250 buses, plus the minibuses and so on. Wow.
No, I don't know if Barbados want a journey with the war has happened, because all of the older secondary schools, and I think there were 6 boys and 6 girls, or 7 and 6. I will go right down Harrison College, Queen's College, and right through them. But there were, let me say, 15. And each of those schools had dedicated school buses that will leave the terminals on mornings, take the children into the schoolyard or to the school gate, and on evenings pick them up and bring them back to the terminal. Now we have more schools.
Yes.
We have more schools in the transport mix-up, but we have less buses. And the government is now saying it's going to divest itself from the running of the transport system. My question, therefore, is what will happen to the schools? Would there be an arrangement with these new, whoever owns the new service, to pay a weekly or monthly or a yearly subscription to keep the service going? I don't have those answers. I'm asking if that is what the case is. Okay. Now, the critical thing about that is that the reason why the TAP system,
TAP.
Yes, TAP, that is Transport Augmentation Program,
yes.
The reason why that is under pressure is because the government continued to pay concessionaires money late, and therefore it moved from 100, I think 146 people participating in that exercise down to less than 70. All the owners decided we cannot bear the weight of this program. Most of them.
When did the TAP start again? Remind me, the transport augmentation.
2000, I think 19.
Okay.
So just the government came in and they were bringing in these Chinese buses, and quickly the electric buses, and then they got to this arrangement with the minibus and the road taxis. So I believe if the government is suggesting that it's going to engage in another divestment utilizing workers and other Barbadians, the government needs to tell Barbadians what arrangements will be made given the history of the TAP program. The TAP program is a failure. I went 7:30, at latest 8, there's no TAP vans on the road anymore. So clearly, there is a problem. And the government has a responsibility to tell Barbadians what is the issue. What will happen? How will the government maintain any divestment program that calls workers' investment into play? And that is one of the questions that I need answered, because I do not hold out any lot of hope for people to run. I'm just trying to adjust the telephone and maybe need a charge. I'm shifting.
That's okay. And while he's shifting, guys, while Dr. ALLEYNE is shifting, this is some important information here. You're learning anything? Remember, we are educating, we motivate, we mobilize, we agitate. This is we're learning and understanding. And once you have information, they can't fool us. Because what Dr. ALLEYNE is saying, he's still setting himself up, is that the TAP program, the transport augmentation program that they implemented, has failed. It has failed. But yet still they come with this other thing, putting wool over our eyes. Anybody out there learning, give me a thumbs up. While he settles himself, he's trying to make sure that he's charged up and everything. And this is going so good. I can't wait for him to get back on here. Give me a thumbs up, folks, if you are learning something from this. Anybody enjoying this presentation? Did you share yet? Did you like? Don't be selfish with it. Somebody says the TAP vans need their money in order to keep the fleet running. Yes. Yes, Andrea Critchlow. Yes. Yes, this is really good. I love information. And I'm learning things that I didn't know. So he's working it out. He just, Dave, if you can check with him, he just dropped out completely. But we want him back on here. Jacqueline is giving thumbs up. Thumbs up by Teroni. Yes. Tapman, one shorty said, Tapman, no transport board operates at a loss and government don't like to pay. So why join? The TAP failed because they don't get paid on time. Yes, that's what he was saying. Whoa, government, man. Beverly, Shirley's thumbs up. They're loving this. Let's, I pray that he gets back on. Cami, what Cami saying? Cami says, we only impress people who don't know her and BLP yard fouls. Oh, Lord. Everything they touch is failing. It's failing. Yeah, this is good. This is good stuff. I love this because I I am learning things. So let's review while we wait on Mr. Dr. Allen to rejoin. In 1955, there were how many buses? Let's see if you learn anything. How many buses there were in 1955? Who remember how many buses in 1955? 1955. How many buses in 1955? Who remembers? Yes, 160. Come to the front, Tammy Griffith. Yay for Tammy Griffith. 116. You see, because when we have knowledge, they can't fool us. They can't fool us. It's not over 200. I'm a good girl. It's 116. Yes, Bascom. Now, and how many buses they had in 2005? Who remember? So when you're talking to your family members and the people at work, you know what you're saying. They say, oh, you don't know nothing. You all act on the Marcia Week show like you know everything. Yeah? We don't know everything, but we research. How many did they have in 2025? Somebody said 97. Is he right? In 2005, how many they had? Yes, 250 in 2005. Okay, we're going by the years, we're moving up. And in 2025, last year, how many buses we have? Anybody else? So Chris Brewster is correct about 2005. Very good. 20 years later, how many buses did we have 20 years later? Let's Dr. Allen see if we're learning. Yes, yes, yes. Tammy again, 99. 99. So when they want to tell you don't know what you're talking about, you pull out your facts on them. What you're talking about, John Nation and Sonia Perch, correct? Come to the front of the class. Very good. Dr. Allen, you ready again? Okay.
Because they have the charger running at the same time.
Perfect. So
Okay.
I was giving them a little test. So go ahead now.
No. So my issue is before the government engages any small private sector persons in operating a national transport system, I think that all those people, or the public as well, a report on what happened with the TAP system, why it didn't work, what were the challenges, why were the people dropping out, how could they have improved the TAP system to make sure that it worked. Having provided that report, then we will be able to make an assessment of what will have to happen if we are going to move away from a heavily subsidized government transport system, because we will have a feel for what went wrong in that system. Bearing in mind that the reason in 1955, why the transport was nationalized, was because the concessionaires then could not get it work. It was creating challenges for commuters. The service was shutting down every evening by 8 o'clock. And we always used to make fun in the 1970s and 80s that once the cinemas finished at night, people from the parishes outside of St. Michael and maybe St. James and Christchurch had to sleep in town. That used to be the fun for us, so they would come down. Most of the times they would come only on Saturday nights or Friday nights.
Okay.
Because the transport system to the rural areas finished. Last bus was 8 o'clock for a long time. Then it eased to 9 and then it went to 10, but it was never regular. When the transport board took it over after in 1970s again, well, then the service improved because the buses started to go to 11. But again, I know that the government is trying to, the transport board is trying to increase its routes. But you can only increase your routes if you have the buses to service those routes.
Yes, yes.
And a comment made by the two authors was that often, while you may have 3 or 4 transport vehicles assigned to a route, there is a lot of jostling for passengers. There is no schedule time. So a minibus doesn't have a specific time to leave where he leaves. When he's in transport board yard, where at the terminal, the person conducting the terminal can tell him to leave at 2 o'clock. But when he gets his destination, he can automatically come back, park, and wait and do whatever that person's like. So that they jostle. As a matter of fact, we smile. I travel on the transport board bus. And when you're at the bus stop, you can always get a feel when a transport board bus is coming, because the minibuses come up in front of the transport board bus.
It's true.
So it is not like one going to get there at 2:15 and one will come at 2:30. You may get all two of them come at 2:15 and 2:16 and 2:17. So the next one can come an hour later. And that for ridership. And again, I made the comment that these electric buses ain't coming to another area that I got concerned about. But the other point I want to make is that the capacity carry of these electric buses is significantly smaller than the old diesel buses. Those diesel buses, I think they came from Brazil, some of them, carry 70 passengers. And these electric buses carry between 35 and 51 passengers. So
Wow.
although you have 99, the load capacity and the array has been significantly reduced. And I watch, I sit and I observe some things happening in Barbados that Barbadians pretend to be ignorant of or ignore. I am on the board at Queen's College. And I'm happy to say that a transport board bus is assigned to come to Queen's College on evenings. I'm happy to say that. They used to have them at all the secondary schools. Increasingly, the number of schools benefiting from such a service continues to decline. I have witnessed myself a minivan bringing down children from Parkinson with no less than 50 children in a bus that should be carrying 23. When I question the driver, he says 50 by $2 is $100 in 35 minutes. And I'm going back and get another load. So there's no dedicated bus service for Parkinson. And why not? They have to jostle and get in an overcrowded minibus evening after evening. And it's some of the most dangerous conditions you could think possible. And that school is only half a mile away from Spring Memorial, which has a dedicated service. Can Parkinson be included in that service? Or would there be too many children? Can another bus come 15 minutes or half an hour after the first bus? And a lot of these schools are coming out now at 2:15 and 2:30, so there's no clash with the working public looking for transportation. So between the 2:15 and 4 o'clock, most of the school children that are not doing extracurricular activities should be back home on evenings.
Mm-hmm.
And when the government increased the bus fare in 2018 to $3.50. One would have thought that was, I don't know how much percent increase. I think I don't remember if it was $2 or $2.50, but it went up significantly.
Yes.
And one would have thought
it went from $2 to $3.50.
okay.
They can tell us in the chat. Tell us, guys. Go ahead, Dr. Allen.
And one would have thought that we would have had a consistent set of new buses. I don't believe in bringing 40 buses now. I think you should bring every other month 10 buses till you get up to the quota you want, so that all the buses don't come at the same time and then get all the same time. A consistent pattern that with every year we can bring in 10 new buses. No matter what, we can get 10 new buses. And then the 99 buses included 30 that are gifts. The government pay for them.
So of the 99 buses that we have right now, 30 of them were gifts.
Yes.
From China. I just want to establish some facts here. Yes. And you have just raised a very important point there, Dr. Allen, that we don't want to skip over, that they increased the bus fare by 75% for every Barbadian, well, apart from the elderly. All right?
Yes.
And right, 75%. And yet still in that time, how many buses did they purchase? How much money went back into the transport board? What did they use that increase to do? That they would have to get 30 of the new buses that they have were gifts. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. It is documented. Even in the 2005 report, it says that of the 89, I call them electric buses, 30 were gifts, were donated. 30. But the I don't know if Barbadians remember, but when the elections were called, the government said that buses were on the way to Barbados. Buses were on the way. February 11th gone. And the buses are on a slow boat from China. And I know they can start talking about the way they call it, the straight.
The hormones straight up.
Yeah.
So you're saying that they promised that in the election,
yes,
this red and ready people, they said that the buses were red and ready and they were ready to come in.
Yes,
but
because,
they got
because I raised the issue in an article in the course of social media. If the government is saying it's privatizing, they are privatizing. What will happen to the 50 buses that were on the road to Barbados?
50.
Can the people who they are intending to transfer the buses to afford to pay for one of those buses? What conditions, I wrote something in social media, what provisions will be made to transfer these new buses to the new owners if the government is divesting? But lo and behold, the buses they turn back. Which adds to the confusion of whether or not the government is privatizing or not. And if we're getting new buses at all, and the bus fare, the gross collections are the maximum, because the truth is you can't carry up the bus fare again. You cannot impose an increase in bus fares on Barbadians again, and the government must know that if a private person is going to run a minibus or run a bus, or 10 of them get together and run it, that they cannot run it at a loss. So that raises the issue that if they move the buses from government subsidies and hand them to private concessionaires, if the price of bus fare will go up. The only the top members carry pensioners and school children that don't pay. And then they do recovery from the government. The problem is that government does not pay early. And something does not pay until 2 or 3 months later. And when you take a person who sometimes the owner is not the driver, and then the quality of the roads means that people have to do more repairs. The cost, one of the guys told me, the guys who works at Transport Board told me, the cost of a bus tire is not 3 cents. And the bus tires have a short lifespan. Charging electric buses is a major challenge. How will the ports be operated? Will the government be paying for the ports if they're handing the buses over to private people? How will it work? Will they have ports all over Barbados? Or will the foolish system that they have with Transport Board running 90% of the ports continue, where a bus has more downtime than uptime and runtime? Are there efforts to find buses that can do longer routes before being recharged? The government has to come to the table and explain all of the challenges to Barbadians. So whatever decision is taken, Barbadians are clear why it's happening and what are the intended results so that they can buy into it. And don't feel that the government is holding wool over their eyes. And when you walk around the rumor mill, is that the government intends to sell the Transport Board to the Chinese, and that is why you're getting gifts of buses. All those are in the rumor mill. Clear it up. The Minister of Transport should come out and clear it up. Say that there are rumors and the government is planning to do A, B, C, D, and by when? What will be the fallout? What will be the benefits? How would the school children and the elderly will be treated? I travel as a retiree on the bus, and standing in the hot sun is a normal result of waiting for the Transport Board bus. But I am a retiree and I don't have anywhere. If I got to go somewhere, I leave an hour early because they expect to be at the bus stop for about an hour. But the issue is, give the people the details. It makes no sense hiding it. When I say the decision to deal with the transport system is one of lack of trust and respect, I mean the government does not even trust itself. Is the government controlled by the International Monetary Fund in a request to divest the buses? Is that part of the conditions of one of the BERT programs? If it is so, say so. If it is not, dispel any rumor. Because the truth will come out in the end. The same way that the Minister for Transport, Deputy Prime Minister getting orange shell, and said that they got buses leaving, lights leaving China back in whenever the by-election was, and they didn't get here yet. Because the truth comes out. So when you make promises and you get it on platforms and make statements, and they don't turn up, people see you for what you are. And there has been too much of this happening with this government. And transport, let me tell you how vital transport is in Barbados. Let the Transport Board workers to the mortar go strike. All hell break loose. The private sector can holler for murder. The government can want the social partners to meet and to work out the problems, because the transport in any country is critical to move people not only to work, to the hospital, to their doctors, to school, to church, and for recreation. And anytime that system grinds to a halt, productivity drops. So when the government wants to treat the transportation of its citizens as any other good or service, it is making a mistake. It must not only be seen in terms of cost, but it must be seen as part of its contribution to productivity in a country. A good transport system improves productivity levels. You know how many man hours are lost with people standing at bus stops and staying home because they can't get bus, or that they don't feel they can get back home? I'm not an economist, so I can't sit down and run the formula and tell you the man hours, but I have a general idea about productivity. And if you get to work and you come down the bus and the bus overcrowded, when you get to work, you miserable. You got to take time to settle down. So by the time you start work at 9 o'clock for 8:30 start, that's half an hour in productivity down the drain. But the other issue I want to raise in terms of the transport is the conditions of the roads. I travel on electric buses, and most of them now sound like traps. With them take the drummers as big trap sets. They keep more noise with the body of the bus than with the horn. And there seems to be no repair program, no maintenance program. You stand in those buses and you look at the door wells, you look at the seats, you look at the thing on the top that's highly wires, damaged. Seems like they don't have any replacement parts. The roads bad, mashing up the buses, and there seems to be no maintenance program for the buses. And we got those buses that come, I don't remember the names of the big long ones. Them have been in Barbados for nearly 40 years now. And 10 of them still on the road. 10. And I don't know how many of these that come in from China off the road, because if they're saying now that they only got 99 and 30 were gifts, that means that the others are already parked, they're waiting for parts or can't drive. I don't know. Maybe we got to take the cameras and go up mangroves and count them. How many are there parked away down by the transport board, and count the ones that are not moving? Then we will have an idea of what is going on. And then the overall thing is, though, how do we deal with managing and organizing the route taxis and the minibuses?
Yes.
That is a major challenge. And the report says that has always been a challenge in Barbados. Well, I have traveled to Trinidad and used the minibuses.
Mm-hmm.
If a bus leaves Port of Spain at 8 o'clock, is expected to reach wherever it is going at a specific time, and it is expected to get back in Port of Spain no earlier than a specific time. So you can't get on the road and hustle, and you can't get in and get off a minibus any place and any time. You get fined, and they have bus inspectors and traffic wardens that do their work.
Mm.
And you go into the minibus terminal in Port of Spain, it is orderly. I'm not saying ours have improved, all children have improved, but for the evening, when you see 5 o'clock and you have to pass there, but we're ready for John, name, where the Barbados says with name, no? Like brain. I always keep calling it Ready Fusion.
B.O.B.
I still always call it Ready Fusion. I'm of that era. So there's chaos. From time you meet by the bus terminal till you get up by the other bus terminal there by hospital, long lines, people stepping in and they're like coming out, like blowing their horns. It is confusion. Now, order brings direction, and it brings positive results.
Yes.
This order brings the opposite. And we also have to find a way to get our school children off some of those minibuses and into organized public transport. So if the government is deciding to privatize, they may have to bring in buses for schools and assign buses to schools only. So that when school ends, school children know that a bus is in the yard waiting to take them to a terminal or on routes that they will get home.
Mm-hmm.
The other countries do it. I don't see why we can't do it. We want to move to developed status, start doing things that reduce challenges for your citizens.
Yes.
No, the other thing is that was pointed out in the report that political decisions undermine the management of the transport board.
Mm.
That ain't my words. Those are not my words. The report says that political decisions undermine the management of the transport board. And they drew reference to bringing qualified people into an environment where that qualified and trained person cannot act on their own volition, but must obey directions from political operatives. That is not my words. That is the report says, and that is a 2005 report. That was being said then, and I'm hearing it's still happening now.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And I have no doubt that what the people are saying is true. I have absolutely no doubt. Because recently, a new minister was sent down to immigration, and the people in there are now calling him the chief immigration officer.
That is, you're talking there about Mr. Nichols, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Well, yeah. Why go? I get complaints from there already that he's coming down giving people orders and all sort of things. I said it, but I know him already, so I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised.
So he take over as the chief immigration officer.
But that what they're saying. They say every day saying no, a new edit, and do this and do that. But it doesn't matter. We gotta come back and discuss on that. He's this issue about these people moving in and out of Barbados, and the argument that ensued between himself and Mr. What?
Corey, you mean Corey Grinnett?
Sorry, yeah, Corey Grinnett. The argument that ensued. And I got some information yesterday. I didn't hear the Corey's response early enough, but I got a copy of it, and you can bet I can send you something before Wednesday.
Yes.
On my take of it, because you see, when you believe that when you become a minister that you are now the fountain of all knowledge, we have a problem. Every time one of these ministers is appointed, that person now becomes an expert in the area in which he or she is assigned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so from the time a fellow becomes a minister, the technical people in there now must take instructions from him. No. He's to bring the national policy, the government policy, out to his manifesto or its cabinet meetings, and the people are to internalize it and implement it to the best of their ability and with the given resources. These guys, all of a sudden, you are Ministry of Health and you are expert in health management. You get transferred to immigration, you're the expert in immigration matters. You get sent to agriculture, and all of a sudden you are the expert in agricultural matters. No. Let the professionals do their work and stop trying to force decisions on people that know more about the issues than you. That is why we are having so many problems. And I shifted that because that is what the report was saying was happening at the transport board and transport in Barbados in general.
Yes.
That political decisions were being foisted on people who were brought in as professionals. And that was a guy who had been assigned, I think it was Greenwood, of the two of them is Greenwood and Roberts. It was
Mhm.
Greenwood who had done a stint at the transport board doing an examination of the procedures and the running of the board. He said, I think his concluding statement, it can only be described as confusion and chaos. That's what he was saying in the report. So we are caught in a fix. The government is remaining almost silent and throwing out half a statements and confusing statements about the future of transport. The number of buses on the road, the number continues to decline. The people in the TAP program continue to withdraw, and the government seems to have no answers. The government prime minister goes down to Spice Town, makes a statement, and the next day the opposition spokesperson is in the bus stand showing people standing up waiting for bus for hours. But the prime minister believes that when she says something, it is gospel. But not for me. The only gospel comes from the book.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. But as I say, you can't take it as gospel because the picture we had up there, you understand? She's on the $3 bill. She's
Yes.
on the $3 bill.
Yeah.
She is on the $3 bill. The prime minister is on the $3 bill. So you know what time of the day it is. So you have to be, yeah. But you know what? Let me ask if there's anybody with somebody who kept calling, but we couldn't take the calls because this was too interesting. You did an amazing job. Can I just tell you that? I am
Thank
telling
you.
you, this was loaded, man. Loaded tonight, loaded as per usual.
Yeah, but the final one I want to speak is the workshop and the maintenance of the vehicles at the
Okay.
transport. That has been a major, major problem. And the report as far back as 2005 has said that we were not hiring skilled workers and that the workshop was always overstaffed.
Mm.
And the overstaff comes from political people sending people to give them work. And then the workshop then becomes unprofitable and unproductive. Because if you send people in there that cannot even hold a screwdriver or spanner, it is going to make those professionals feel that they are being taken advantage of. That is a major concern. And from the time that workshop was set up in transport board, it was headaches. It was headaches. And they say certainly, by the amount of buses that are being put to pasture, it seems to me that a whole lot will have to be taken at the maintenance and repair of the transport board, whoever is running the service. And that is another issue that we will have to deal with if we privatize it out. Because if a man got a route to run and he has one bus and it is not working, what happens in that space? Are you going to call another driver with another private bus and send him there? Who's to make that call? All of those are issues that we have to get answered. I went down to St. Lucie for a drive because I'm a pensioner and I don't got anything to do. So I get on the bus at like from about 11 o'clock when it's easy.
Mhm.
And the bus that goes down, I think that one is River Bay. The one that go down through River Bay. First thing, the roads are atrocious. But the second thing is that route is so long. It's
Mm.
so long. I mean, all those roads down north are so long because of the bad roads. They got to go here and reverse and go back the next side. And some of those people have to get work for 8:15, go leave home at 5:30 and get to the bus stop. And then only getting home evening, getting home after 7 every evening. So they are spending at least 2 hours going each direction on the road. and the place has 166 square miles and 13 miles at the longest and 12 at the widest. Something like that. I don't remember the numbers now.
Mm-hmm.
But in Mickey Mouse Island, you should be spending 2 hours in the transport system to get to and from work. That's 4 hours a day that you spend getting to and from work.
In a
Ridiculous.
small country like this.
Yes, ridiculous. So I'm saying that there's a lot wrong with the transport system, and the government must take Barbadians in its confidence. They don't want all these seats, so they shouldn't be running and hiding. They need to get a meeting with the social partners and sit down, the private sector, the unions, and have a discussion on the transport future in Barbados. The future of the transport board, the role of the minibuses and the road taxis. And right, I'm very careful to say this, but I got a lot of people now picking up people in the cars and charging $2.
Yes, I've seen that. I have seen that.
Right. You know, on top of a fella who's hustling that damn business, but that is not something that we want. That's not something that we want.
No.
First thing, all of those public vehicles are inspected, and they must go and get proper inspections. And a man with an old car stop and tell you $2 the time you get in, and you go down and get an accident. You don't even know if you got insurance outside third party.
It's true.
So I don't know. So those little things happen when a system is broken. A lot of things get through the cracks. And this government owes Barbadians a discussion on the future of the transport board and where is transport going in Barbados. Are we going to give it away? Or is the state going to continue to administer and to be part of the delivery of the service? We need to know.
Yes. Wow. Excellent job. Dr. ALLEYNE. Yes. The number is on the screen, folks. 236-7000. You can make a WhatsApp call. When you call, you can make your comment. You can make the ask a question. Then we close the call, and then you listen. We don't have the system where at the moment where you can listen at the same time that you're on. Okay. All right. So bear with us. Good night and welcome to the Marcy Week Show.
Hi, good night, Marcia, and good night to Derek.
Good night. Go right ahead.
Yes. I heard what Brother Derek was saying. I was asking, I think he was asking a question, but he didn't have the information to hand about how much a tire, because he asked the boy and said the tires cost a lot, which is true. But from the information I would have digged up, and I put it in the messaging part there, so I'll be WhatsApp that people can message. I don't know if Marcia didn't see it. Right? I found the information pertaining to the commercial buses, right? And the specific bus tires like the 265-7 0R119 number that you know about these kind of tires.
What you
right?
said? 119, 119, you said?
No, that's the size number. That is size number.
Of the bus tire itself.
Okay.
Right. They cost around between Barbados 700 to Barbados 750, and that's premium commercial tires can reach as far as about 1,500 plus. Right? And that is the information I would have found on the actual the tires that they will use on the buses. And as far and off quickly, as far as the UCAL, I would have said the UCAL, they're always in a state of affairs, Derek. The problem in total, we can break down everything. The problem in total, the transport board, as I have said elsewhere, and I've said on here many times, is it needs a proper restructuring. I personally believe that if some of the board want to get rid of, because they don't know what they're doing, right? But if the head bad, what else do you expect? We have a government that just do things on a whim, a knee-jerk reaction, and they don't think before they act. They just shoot from the hip, and whatever happens, happens. Then basically the IMF, they're looking to sell Barbados. That's why the IMF is trying to privatize almost all the sectors. That's what happened to sugarcane, etc., etc. So I quite agree with Comrade Derek. He's made some valid points, and I hope that you're bringing back on Marcia for a round 3. Because this was round 2. I hope you're bringing back for round 3, because there's much information and I have information that I can share with the loyal opposition pertaining to 1970, with which Derek should remember this. There was a major flood of October the 2nd, 1970, where only 74 of the 95 buses were in operation, indicating a total fleet of around 95 at that time. That is the information we have.
Yeah.
I hope you all will have a very good night. And keep it the good work, Marcia. Nobody can stop me. Huh?
None. Absolutely no one. Thank you so much, sir.
God bless you.
Yes. I know, but you know that the new minister of immigration or whatever else he is was one of the chairman. He was one of the chairman of the transport board.
Yes.
And maybe a good question would be to ask him why he left or why he was fired.
Yes. Why he left or he was fired. Yes, it's true.
Yes. That'd be a good question to ask. So whenever I write something, next time I can put it in make a question answer and whatever I write.
Yeah.
But he was chairman of the transport board too.
Yes. Folks, please call if you have any questions, any comments, any queries. You want to add something, you want to, ask a question of what you heard. This is your time to do that. But you can go ahead, Dr. ALLEYNE, and anything else that I wanted to empty out everything about the transport board that you had in your mind. This is the time to do that. This is a space. We're so happy that you're here.
The other thing is the bus terminals, making the one at Cheapside. I think that needs a major upgrade. When you sit in that terminal around between 1 and 3 o'clock, you have to be running and hiding from the sun, and if the rainfall, God help you. I think it would be the same way that they improved the one up by the river and has it enclosed and properly organized. The people in the north deserve to at least get Cheapside upgraded. The allowing the one in Granville Buildings one to look a little bit tattered for me. They need to find some resources and make it at least the inside a little bit more friendly. Mm-hmm. And of course, the transport board itself, the yard there, I don't know what that look like. I don't know. I don't know.
And you would know because you take the transport board.
Yeah, I have not driven a car now in 3 years.
Dr. ALLEYNE, good night, caller, and welcome to the Marcia Week Show. Can you turn down your? Yes, thank you. All right, we were having an earthquake there. Good night. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show. Are you still there?
Hi, good night, Marcia. Yeah. I call because I heard that they sell transport board and that the stuff that Dr. ALLEYNE spoke about, it was interesting and it was good. I heard today that someone said they sell transport board and they're training the Chinese drivers how to drive. And it's sad because they just don't remember, but I keep saying, when I said this lady is a deaf spot, and if when I ever put me for prime minister, she can sell all of Barbados. When I for God bless him in his grave, his words have not dropped to the ground. Look at life. The Chinese is who building the stadium, everything. The Chinese Barbados ain't going on nothing, and it's sad.
Yeah. But let me ask you, where did you get that information that the transport board is sold? Is it written somewhere that you can send to us?
I will have to look for the thing that the body sent to me today. Mm-hmm. But to say that transport board selling the give 50 of the give 50 of the workers pay packages, and I was like, wow.
Really? You heard? Well, I asked Mr. Allen, Dr. Allen, about that because I would love to. I'm going to keep your number and find out because we don't want to announce it because we want to see it first, you know. But it's interesting. I'm so glad you
Yeah.
called. I'm glad you called.
Well, I
Yeah,
have not heard, I
I,
have
I
not
say I
heard
will call
that.
because he spoke some very interesting things there. Why are we bringing so much electric buses to Barbados? We're not still getting proper bus services, and this government is like just trying to like Americanize everything, and it's so sad. What works in America might not work for Barbados. Even with the same grooming policy, they let the horse out of the stable.
Yes, yes. Well, caller, thank you so much for calling, and I will be following up with you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you calling.
You're right.
Yes, thank
Good
you.
night.
Yes, good night. Yes, Dr. Allen.
But I have
Allen.
not heard that. I have not heard that information, but you can rest assured that I will be on top of it. By tomorrow, I will make a direct call and I will ask a couple of the senior members in there, see the staff members, what is this rumor going on? I said just now, the government needs to come to Barbados and tell them what is happening. Or a rumor mill. I heard you talk about Chinese, and I said I didn't believe it because I don't know where you will sell the transport board to the Chinese. I do not know. I don't know if it's part of the agreement that where the 50 buses came. I do not know.
Yes.
And the rumor mill can get worse if the people that are in charge do not come and put the cards on the table.
Yes.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, caller. My apologies there, Dr. Allen. Just hold that thought and let's hear the caller. Go right ahead, caller.
Okay, good. That's a good night. My query is, you were talking about fixers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can sue fixers if they don't do what they said they were going to do.
I'm sure you can, based on what the lawyer said to me today. But as I said, attorney Corey will be with us, Corey Beckles, on Mondays at 7:30. So when he comes, we can ask him those questions. But based on what he said to me, I would think that you could. Why you ask that question?
All right. Well, the thing is, we have about 30 fixers. And they're not doing what they were assigned to do. So I'm wondering if they can be sued.
Well, that's something to ask the lawyer, as I said. But based on what he said to me, I believe that they could. They could be.
Okay, well, that's very good to know. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for calling, sir. Thank you so much.
Well,
yes, over to you, Dr. Allen.
Yeah, I was listening to your earlier conversation about the challenges with dealing with the powers of attorney and so on. And the truth is, people become are given responsibility to be powers of attorney, and they are never explained. They're never told what the duties are, where the boundaries lie. And some of them get into trouble because they don't know. And I believe when a person accepts that role, the same way that we are trying to get the justices of peace trained, because I have always complained that we pick justices of peace and the training never comes. You get a handout and the truth is some of the people that are made justice of peace should be a peace in justice.
Listen, you're making me calm. Listen.
my mother was a justice of the peace for over 40 years. And when she became a justice of the peace, sessions were held. She had to go 2 evenings.
There you go.
2 evenings a week, and was told basic things what she had to do. And then she would come home, and my sister and I, or sometimes my brother was a little too young then, we would ask her about it and question her about what she's supposed to do. And when people come at the house and she
Uh-huh.
want something signed, what we supposed to do is we can come and watch she's signing it. And if the police come for a warrant to sign, all those things. When I was growing up, my mother was a justice of the peace, and we were querying those things because we really didn't know what justice of peace did. But some of these people want to be a justice of peace, and there's no training for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
and the same with people that have responsibility as power of have the power of attorney have absolutely no idea what that really means. But an elderly person who has no family around has
Yes.
a nice good friend, a cousin or somebody, and he takes that responsibility without being clear about what his limits and boundaries are. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's something that we need to look at and maybe um, do some public information
Yes.
on them, so that both the people who are asked to perform those functions and the
Mm-hmm.
people asking them know where the limits and boundaries are.
Yes, and I think when I spoke with the lawyer today, you're so on the money. This
Mm.
is what he said to me. He said, Marcia, a lot of these people who are power of attorney or are you know, they're whatever, all of these different things, whether the you have the power of attorney and the other one I can't remember right now, but he says the paralegal, he says a lot of times they do not know what their function is. He says that the bar association, there's some organization that needs to be able to tell them what they can and what they cannot do, and the public needs to be educated on it. This is exactly what you said, he said. And so he'll be coming on Monday nights before you come on at 7:30 and answer the questions and try to educate the people. But you're so correct.
Yeah, the government information service in the days gone by would have prepared a little handout and put rights, responsibilities, limits, boundaries, and so on it, so that people know what they can do and what they cannot do. Um, that shouldn't be a difficult thing for one of the offices of the prime minister office, because she got about 100 to put together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody's asking what's the slogan on the front of the electric buses? What does it mean? Because it's a Chinese writing, which I mean, that annoys me so much to see as the Chinese. But again, they're donations, they didn't buy them. So whatever it says, right? It'd be
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
when I first saw it, I couldn't really believe that a country would give you a bus and then send a message in it in your language. So I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't. And I mean, I really don't know. And I guess
Yeah.
when you're begging, you can't be a chooser.
Yeah. You know, listen, what somebody needs to do is to take a picture of it and put it in AI and see if AI can tell you,
Oh yeah, that's
right?
a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. But you know, I'm just trying to see if there are any more questions before we close. But this has been so rich, guys. Remind me of the times when we just started with Caswell Franklin. We were learning so much. Maxine McLean.
Mhm.
Those were the good old days, and they're back. You know, and
Mhm.
then Klein Murray would come and add to that, and these are all senators, past senators,
Mhm.
and so are you, and we're so privileged to have people like Glenn Murray,
Mhm.
Maxine McLean, like yourself, you know, on, so we can learn so many things. And sometimes we used to have another senator who calls in, and his name is slipped me right now, former senator. And we need you guys because you remind us of what it's supposed to be. And so you are very important to the people of Barbados. That's my view on it. And I know a lot of people, think. But the last thing somebody's talking about the GIS, a lot of what I did tonight in, saying what the power of attorney does, who is a fixer, what, the Mackenzie friend, all of these people. This is what the GIS should be doing, right?
Yes, yes.
they're not doing the education that they're supposed to be doing.
That would say be a major part of the government information service back in the days. Used to get information coming out, everything on the television too. The TV would be bombarded with little information packets so that you were always on top of everything.
Yes.
One of the things that one of the challenges maybe is that not many people watch CBC, and that's probably unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, let me just we've come to the end of the program tonight. It's been so good. I don't even feel tired because it feels like you're eating this wonderful plate of food. Beautiful. I thank you so much for your research, Dr. ALLEYNE, and we look forward to next week. Because it's always so good. This is your place. You have this space to be answered. So
I
thank
just
you.
want to close by saying that the overall position is that we have to start as a government and as the people to decide which of our goods and services we are going to be giving to the private sector to run. And I hope we don't get to education. I hope we don't get to education. I hope we don't get to education. I hope the transportation stays within some of the state control. But I hope we don't get education, and I hope that the state recognizes that in health, people cannot afford some of the costs. I have insurance, and sometimes I don't even call on my insurance because I don't want my premiums to go up or anything. But I hope that we, as a nation, that we ensure that the governments recognize that there are vital services in which the state must play a role.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's okay.
Thank you very much. God bless you and sleep well.
Okay, thank you very much and enjoy your night as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Wow, wasn't that awesome? That's what you talk about, research, and you talk about history and information knowledge. And I pray that we would make use of that. Share the knowledge with the people in your workplace, people at church, people in your WhatsApp groups. You become now the teacher. Share it. Go out and talk to each other. Talk to your family members. Don't let them fool you. You let them know you heard this on the Marcia Week show. You let them know Dr. Derek ALLEYNE said this. And go and research it yourself and double check it. And with this education, I pray that we will be able to become, as I said, craftsmen of our faith. We do not go back and do what we did in February. Don't be educated and don't do anything about the education. Do you realize from tonight how much they're giving you a $3 bill? Do you realize how much they are trying to mislead the public? Yes? Do you realize this $3 bill government, what they are trying to do, and this $3 bill prime minister? To fool the people of Barbados. But we are educated now. Do something about the education. Do something about the knowledge. Very important. Yes? God bless you all. And I will see you on Wednesday. Wednesday, we have a special show, God willing, with the Common Entrance children. Those of you who want to help me financially with that show, give me a call, please. We just need any donation. We want to get a nice package for those children and treat them really well. That's what we're going to do on Wednesday night. And we're going to just show the children enjoying themselves in a different light, etc. Have a conversation with them. All right. So if you want to, please reach out and message me, and we will be able to do just that. Yes. God bless you. Have a good night.
Oh, yeah, yeah. on the road at night. Cause you come with your light so bright, like you want blind me for spite. It is overbearing. Me and you never had no war. Why you spot the light but me for? Is it accidental or you just so uncaring? Every day you bout me complaining all the things that ain't going right. From now on I will be explaining which place you could spot the light. Spot the light in the parliament and see who is looking out for you or barely fooling we. Spot the light the right places and find out who is on the people's side and who's selling out. Don't put it on me, you joke. I don't be at no port when guns coming in. I am sure cowboys and Indians, no, don't put it on me, you idiot. When taxpayers' money waste, don't spot it in my face. You better spot the light man who run the place. I don't run the government. I know if the computer, don't spot it on me, Bozy. Spot the light man the DLT. Oh yeah, yeah. Aye, aye, aye. Walaka. Blinding young with the LEDs. Them that are doing as the please. And then tell the authorities I feel violated. Go spot them in the treasury. Then you will see if the economy living off borrowed money that I am afflicted. Light is a great disinfectant. Use it, don't abuse it at night. Cause all that hide in the darkness must come out in the light. Spot the light in the board meetings and see who is representing you, or the rich minority. I want you spot the light the right places and find out who is standing up for you, or just running them out. Don't spot it on me, no way. I don't have any clout, no power, no say, okay. And I ain't got no land to give away. Don't spot it on me, you idiot. One for you, another one quick. Don't target me one bit. You better spot the light on the cabinet. I may drive and get annoyed. Check my front and touch your boy. Don't spot it on me, you insane. You spot the light in the wrong lane. Aye, aye, aye. Aye, aye, aye. Walaka. When you see me on the road at night, make sure that you dim your light. I give you valuable insight. Time for activation. Aim the light, aim it all about. Human cockroaches running out. Places you would never dream about. Need illumination. Wickedness reside in high places. Time for you to make wrong things right. Corruption is hiding dark spaces. In Barbados, let there be light. Spot the light on the police, you can choose. Some are real professional, some protect the shoes. Spot the light in the courtrooms and find out why them hardened criminals out here walking about. Don't spot it on me, you're free. I can't give a big speech, I've got the whole world, so I'm based. All now I still getting praise. Don't spot it on me, you're free. I ain't looking at the George Street, I know who get cussed or beat. Spot the light out in Robert Street. I never tried to meet with Trump or get St. Philip man to jam. Don't spot it on me, you're good. Spot the light in LA Rapport. Crime out here getting worse. Spot the light on the AG first. I ain't laughing out none. Spot the light on the Kaisoyan. Admiral my degree. Spot the light by my friend Gabby. I know what's good for my health. Spot the light by your blinking self.